So, I'm keen to understand the whole, process of what it took to obviously get you at that stage. Because not a lot of people are forthcoming and thinking about the younger generation and putting them in the environment you're in on a daily basis.
Mm. No, I think that's a great question, and it leads me to the whole thing for me where I'm looking at my drivers. So when you ask me what are my drivers are the ability to impact change. Everybody will say, oh yeah, you're making money and you're doing this. I'm like, okay, the money is not the driver. That's like a secondary point. The driver for me is the fact that I know I'm going to impact change. And why I'm doing it is because I know how skilled I am. I know the way I was thinking as a 15, 16-year-old. I know the innovations that were running through my head. I know the processes that I was running through. So, but my problem then was I didn't know how to channel that. Okay, I didn't know who to go to. And my parents are not techie, so it's not like they were able to kind of guide me in the right direction. And as you can imagine, with most, so-called immigrant parents, their job is to, once they're here, their focus is to hustle. It's let's keep working, and you kids focus on your education type of thing. So what I'm trying to do there then is I'm trying to create a difference, and it's that whole thing where, if you want to change the world, you have to be the change you want to see. So for me, I'm trying to say, okay, let me create an environment, or let me help these kids get themselves in positions where, you can throw the excuses out the window, because I think that's one thing I want to be cautious of and be aware of, that, okay, stop allowing excuses to get to us. Okay. So now if you are the young Black boy in Manchester or around or wherever, you can't then say, oh, there's no one I can go to, there's no one in this field. No, you've got me here, you understand? So I think that for me is my focus. It's my driver in the whole point of trying to ensure that I'm able to create a platform where, people can come in, the young boys can come in, and don't get me wrong, girls are welcome as well. So young boys, young girls, they can all come in, and obviously they can see how we operate, they can see how it works, because one of the problems with leadership is, if you don't see people like you in leadership, your mind will tell you that, oh, maybe you're not supposed to be there, or maybe it's not for you, and I've been fortunate enough to have kids in my environment, and they've turned around and, a lot of them just sit there and they just kind of, soak in the conversations and what's happening. It's like, oh, wow, you're doing this. And like, yeah, of course, it's possible. A kid's like, I'm going to go home and think of something. I think you should. That's exactly what you should do, because there's no reason why you can't. I'm not going to blame the education system, but obviously the school's going to do what the school's going to do. The school can only push you so far, and if anything, it's down to the community and, we as parents to be able to then give them that extra push. There are great teachers, but not every teacher is going to be a great teacher. Some are good teachers. There are great teachers that will encourage the kids to go beyond and to push them out, push the boat out a little bit. But obviously, that's only between, the hours, the school hours, 8 till 4 or whatever. So it's a case of, okay, what happens after that? And if anything else is what I think with these kids, it's about engaging them early on. A lot of them are talented, very, very talented. Like my two boys, when it comes to music, say no more. They've got it covered. Dance, even tech, they've got it covered. I could challenge them and say, okay, listen, make me a beat. They'll sit there. I don't even know half of these tools. They'll dig it out. Like over the summer, that's what they did as well. They made music beats. I could turn around and sell that to a studio. They wouldn't know it came from a 12-year-old or 10-year-old rather. So it's about creating that mindset for them and letting them know that, listen, everything is possible. It's all about what you do with your time as well is a critical aspect. So getting them to think that, okay, don't just be a consumer, be a producer. Don't just be somebody that sits there and soaks in video games and shouts on YouTube and pressing all the buttons on the PlayStation. Sit there and think, okay, what game can I put together? What difference can I make, or how would I make this game better? What would I change here? So I think for me, what I'm wanting to do is to, initially just spark their minds, spark their minds, create that engagement, spark their minds, and just get them flowing to the point that, okay, before you know it, they themselves will start looking for challenges. I tell my son, I said, look, if you want to be wealthy in this world, it's really easy. It's really easy. There's no, secret formula. There's nothing. I said, it's really easy. All you have to do is look at a problem, put a solution to it. And once you put that solution to it, put a little price tag, not too heavy, put a little price tag on that. And that's it, and I can see that working. I can see that working. My youngest ones turn around to me, says, Dad, I want to start a business. I said, okay, sure. What do you want to do? He goes, he wants to open up a car wash type of business. I'm like, okay, interesting. That it needs investment. I said, okay. So I said, all right, good old businessman style. Send me a business plan. We like to keep things formal in this house. Send me a business plan. He wrote up a business plan on Word. I looked at it. I said, okay, no, it looks good. Sent it back, gave him some corrections. He did it, sent it back again, And then he turns around and says, oh, yeah, it needs investment. Like, I think it was only £45. I'm like, no worries. But I said to him, hey, listen, okay, so what do I get for my £45? I would like a share of this business. He goes, no, he just wants a loan and they'll give my money back. I said, this one here.
It's crazy because even my daughter, learning way too quick, because even my daughter's on the same thing.
Yeah.
And I've been pushing her to be, more entrepreneurial in that department, and she's taken it in a stride. And same kind of process. And I think it's so key nowadays, especially for children, allowing them and teaching them those, small things. So it's the same thing of like, she wants to start this business. We gave her X amount of money and said that, look, just like the real world, we want the money back. There's no such thing as a free lunch. And that's the thing. I think it's also, as a parent, getting out the mentality of like just giving everything to your child, because I think that sets the wrong kind of principles later on in life.
Yeah. No, you. I think there's a fine balance as parents, and obviously you don't want to do too much and you don't want to do too little. But you want to, put them in a state where they appreciate everything, and more so they learn and they know how to go about things themselves. So it's not a case of food just lands on the table. How does it get here? And this is where I think as parents you need to have open and honest conversations with your kids. Even down to talking financials, talking money. Let's talk. Daddy, how much do you earn? And by the time they break it down into hours, so they know that, okay, this trainer that cost £150, my dad has to work X amount of hours to make it, so then they can now start appreciating things a little more. And, so I think for them, it's, especially for the little ones as well, I'm always telling them that, listen, what people are going to pay for is the value you bring. So whether you're working for an organization or you've got your own organization, there's still value involved, and the only value that's really, really appreciated is what's in here. So if you've got nothing in here, no one's going to pay for you. That's why I tell the kids that come in, I said, look, you see me working. I said, you see me talking to people from all over the world. I said, you don't see me carrying anything physically. No. So you might feel like you're not working though, but I am, because I'm using what's in here to generate wealth. So the more I can get into here and the more I can process through here, I'm pointing at my brain. For those on SoundCloud and all other platforms. So it's what's in your head, it's what's in your brain that, that's what people are, that's what you're going to be charging for. So ultimately, the more the higher your value, so to speak.
I love that. I really love that.
It's really interesting, and I love how the kids are basically seeing everything you're doing, especially in your environment, and you're pulling them in.